You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back to the Cabral Concept. I'm Stephen Cabral. Today, on a Mindset and Motivation Monday, we're going to talk about all things meditation. And this is a topic we can no longer keep brushing to the side, saying that, oh yeah, I should be doing, I've heard good things about it, or that's just some type of voodoo, natural health type science. No, today we're actually going to talk about how not only is it something that we probably should be doing, it's something that we really do need to be doing to combat our very stressed out, busy lifestyles. Now, if you're like most people, the thought of doing meditation probably bores you, or it might potentially be something like, I just don't have any more minutes left in the day, and now you're expecting me to sit down and just relax and try to breathe and all these specific things. Well, what I want to tell you is this. There's now over 3,000 scientific studies all showing the tremendous benefits of meditation. So really, everything from improved focus, improving memory, boosting your immune system, decreasing anxiety, decreasing depression, improving impulse control, regulating hormones, balancing blood sugar, overall well-being, decreasing pain. I mean, the list literally goes on and on. Well, what can it improve? And why is it improving so many different things over so many different areas? Well, the reason is really simple. It's not necessarily meditation that's doing the thing. It's what's happening in our body as we're meditating. Okay, so what that means is this. When we're in our typical go, go, go lifestyle, we're in this thing called the fight or flight response, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about that before. But the reason why this is important is because in our lives, we're just not able to turn this off as readily as we should be. And this is one of the reasons we get sick, we get unhealthy, we're filled with just feelings of being overwhelmed or anxious, and we can't turn it off. So the stress just builds and builds and builds. This weakens our digestion and leads to the disease process. I mean, that right there is worth rewinding 15 seconds or 20 seconds. It really is the root and cause of so many different diseases. All right, so let's talk about this though. Why don't we do it then? Why don't we meditate? We know it's good for us. We know the benefits really just going to keep piling on top of themselves into a point where meditation can literally improve everything, and it really can. It is that type of panacea, but remember, it's not meditation, it's what's actually happening in our body. It is that decrease in stress response. The problem is this. There's no easy way to get into it because we're bombarded, of course, with all the different marketing mechanisms now for, should we be doing seated meditation? Should it be part of yoga? Should we be doing standing Qigong-based meditation? Should we be doing transcendental meditation? Do we need to come up with our own chant? Should we be using a mantra? If so, what type of mantra should it be? It's like all of these different things just keeps us from actually just relaxing our bodies and learning to meditate. So I want to demystify this today, and that's really what it's all about for me because I've studied meditation pretty in depth. I've actually worked with Tibetan monks. I've gone to meditation classes with the Dali Lama himself, and I've gotten a lot out of it. And I'll tell you this, that yes, all of the monks that I actually studied with, whether it was in India, Sri Lanka, or the US, is that they all did have a formal practice. But keep in mind that although the job of a Tibetan monk is not to meditate, but they spend a lot of their time in meditation. All right. So that might not be my job or your job, but how can we then get something out of it? So this is what I found. I've done different seated positions. I've done standing positions when I studied in China with Qigong. All of them absolutely fantastic. But here's the thing. Some of the seated positions were uncomfortable for me, so I couldn't relax my body. It actually probably caused more of a pain response. That is obviously not a good thing when you're learning to try to relax your body. At other points, the breathing techniques that I was using didn't feel natural and actually tensed up my body more, made me think more about my breathing. It was not relaxing at all. What you need to do, and your takeaway from this is, you need to find a style that works for you that can allow you to relax your body. Now, for some people, it could literally be as simple as lying down on the floor on a towel or blanket, or sitting at your desk just with your eyes closed, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And now that's what really gets me to this next point. Let's not think about where you're meditating or the specific posture or position you're meditating in. Let's talk about what the real important part is, and that's the breath. Your breath is what changes everything in terms of your stress response. If you calm your breathing down, all these nerves that get innervated off of your spine can then relax. So instead of turning on the fight or flight, they can actually turn off, relax the body, and put it into what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, which is really just the rest and relax or rest and digest. This is the position or bodily system we need to be in when we're also eating. So it's so very important to relax our bodies when eating. But that's not what this podcast is about. So I will get to that at a future time. But the important thing to remember is you're breathing in through your nose, not through your mouth, in through your nose. And that should be for about 5 seconds, anywhere from 3 to 5 seconds, maybe a little bit longer if you've been practicing longer. But the out breath, which is very important, should be longer than that in breath. Now, why? If it's the reverse, it's a form of hyperventilating. Let's say you breathe in for 5 seconds and out for 3. What that means is that you're actually stimulating that fight or flight. So we need to breathe in slowly, in for 5 seconds, in through your nose, and then out through your mouth. Or out through your nose as well. That relaxes the body. And then you can work on belly breathing. That's the next step. So don't lift your chest up as you're breathing in. Try to let your chest relax, that thoracic part of the spine, and actually let your belly move up and down. And this is why sometimes practicing lying on your back can be even better, because you can actually see the belly start to rise. This is really what's needed, is the relaxation response. Now people say, well, you need to get rid of all the thoughts in your head. This is true, but you also can't fight that process, because again, that is not relaxing the body. So what I would say is this: if you just focus on your breath, if you just keep coming back to your breath, think about breathing in through your nose, feel the air actually move in through your nostrils, into your lungs, and then out through your mouth. If you just focus on that, it's difficult to also have other thoughts going through your head. So that's a great first step. And again, we're relaxing the nervous system, which then relaxes the muscles and cools and calms the body. Now, once you get good at this, you can actually take it into any facet of your life. And that's what got me to that next level. Is I've talked about kind of my afternoon lunchtime walks. This is my active form of meditation. And you might say, that's not actually meditation. That's not how meditation works. Well, that's not true, because here's why. So many people are caught up in the actual act of meditation versus what's the most important thing, which is the state of meditation. And this is why you are not going to get the same benefits of meditation if you're seated in any position or chanting or using a mantra and still stressed at the same time. Okay? You get no benefit whatsoever of meditation if you're still tensed up and stressed. It might take a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks to try to work through that, relaxation. You do have to stick with it. Very, very important. And really, it's shown at least 3 weeks to stick with the meditation practice. But for me now, since I put in the hard work in the beginning, now I can go back to that breath at any time. Anytime I'm stressed, I can go back to the breath, and I can use my lunchtime walk, which is somewhere around 20, 30 minutes, to go back to that relaxation response. I can breathe in through my nose. I have my phone away from me. I'm not looking at it. And I can just let my arms swing, and I can breathe, and I can relax. To me, that's what I found walking meditation. Now, again, a lot of people aren't talking about this. I'll talk about my walking meditation practice in the future. But for me, walking meditation, no matter really what the weather, unless it's downpouring, is something that I try to do on a daily basis. I feel my body relax as I'm breathing. I start from my upper traps around my neck area, my shoulders, and I let them just fall and relax. And I move all the way through my body. Absolutely amazing. It's really changed my life and my stress response by doing that. So the last thing I want to leave you with is, don't think that you need to sit down and meditate for an hour either. I started with 5 minutes, and that's exactly what I recommend you start with. You just say you can do anything for 5 minutes. All you need to do is sit down, breathe in through your nose for 5 seconds or so, and out through your mouth for longer than 5 seconds, typically somewhere around 7 seconds. Just calm your body down. That's it. If you want to use a mantra, just use the word calm. That's it, calm. Very, very simple, very straightforward. Some people like to use peace. Some people like to use love, forgiveness, whatever you're looking for. If you want that to be a word, fine. I just don't want that word to conjure up different meanings and different things that you're thinking about. So for me, I go back to my breath. I feel that air moving in through my nose. I become more aware of my body. And then I just feel it breathing out of my body. And when it comes out of my body, I'm releasing all of that tension. So that's a little bit about my practice. I will get probably more in depth. I'm already going over my time of what I allot myself per day on the topic. But if you can start out with 5 minutes twice a day in the morning and then at night before bed, so basically before you start your day and then before you go to bed, life-changing stuff, but it does take time. After that, you can move yourself up to 10 minutes and then maybe eventually 20 minutes once a day or twice a day. Or you might even start taking your own lunchtime walking meditations like me. Looking forward to talking more about this topic in the future. So vitally important to our overall health and longevity. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'll be back real soon with more episodes of The Cabral Concept.
Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to stephencabral.com/resources.